I came home early from deployment and found my fiancée marrying another man in my backyard. When Sergeant Daniel Cross finally got the news that he could return home 3 weeks early from deployment, he felt like the clouds had finally lifted. After 14 months overseas dust, danger, and endless nights, he could finally return to the woman he loved, Emily Harper, his fiancée. He had planned everything. A surprise entrance. A bouquet of her favorite white lilies. A whispered, "I'm home, Em." But fate had a different story waiting. The silence at home. When Daniel reached his house, the first thing he noticed was how quiet the street was. No cars, no neighbors outside, no music. He actually laughed to himself. Maybe she's still asleep, or maybe she planned a surprise for me too. He remembered the excitement in her voice during their last call, how she said she couldn't wait to see him. But as he reached the front door, he froze. The house was decorated. Not inside, but outside. Through the back windows, he saw fairy lights, chairs, a small stage, and a white arch decorated with flowers. His heart began pounding, but he tried to smile. Maybe it's a neighborhood event, someone else's celebration. He opened the door quietly. The house was empty. But laughter echoed from the backyard. The wedding. Daniel walked slowly toward the back door. His boots felt heavier than they had in all 14 months of deployment. When he stepped outside, everything inside him shattered. Under the arch, wearing a white wedding dress, Emily. And standing opposite her, another man. The guests sat quietly as the officiant spoke. Emily's eyes never once drifted to Daniel because she didn't expect him. She thought he was thousands of miles away. For a moment, Daniel couldn't breathe. His voice came out low, broken, "Emily." The entire crowd gasped. Emily turned. The bouquet slipped from her hand. Daniel, you weren't supposed to be back yet." Tears filled her eyes, not of love, but of fear. Her truth. The groom Jason stepped in front protectively. "Look, man," Emily said, "you weren't coming back. She told me." Daniel raised his hand. "I don't want explanations from you." He looked at Emily, the woman he once trusted with everything. "Why?" Emily sobbed. I couldn't wait anymore. I thought you'd never come back. You promised a year, but it kept extending, and I met Jason. He made me feel less lonely." Daniel stared at her. "So you plan to marry him, in my backyard?" Emily whispered, "I didn't think you'd ever show up again." "The real reason." Just then, Daniel's best friend, Maya, rushed to his side. She was breathless, angry, and emotional. "Daniel. I'm so glad you're here. I tried to tell you." Emily's face twisted. "Maya, stay out of." "No," Maya interrupted sharply. "He deserves the truth." She turned to Daniel. "Emily wasn't lonely. She wasn't abandoned. She was cheating on you 6 months after you left." Daniel went still. Maya continued, "I saw them. I confronted her. She blocked me. I emailed you, but you didn't get it." Daniel felt a sharp, burning pain in his chest. Emily whispered, shaking, "I didn't want to hurt you." Daniel let out a bitter laugh. "You planned a whole wedding in my backyard, Emily. I think hurting me was already part of the plan." Guests stood quietly, unsure whether to leave or watch. Walking away with dignity. Emily reached for him desperately. "Daniel, please, We can talk privately. He stepped back. No. Whatever we had is over. If you couldn't stay loyal during my worst times, you don't deserve me in my best. Jason tried to speak, but Daniel ignored him. He turned to the guests. Enjoy the wedding, everyone. It seems love here doesn't require honesty. Then he walked away, not fast, not slow, but with the weight of a man who had carried enough pain for 2 lifetimes. Emily collapsed to her knees crying. Jason looked away in shame. Maya followed Daniel. A new beginning. At the front of the house, Maya placed a hand on Daniel's shoulder. You didn't deserve any of this. Daniel finally allowed himself to breathe. Maya, what do I do now? She smiled gently. You start over. And this time, with people who actually value your heart. Daniel looked into her eyes, and for the first time that day, he felt something warm. Hope. Emily's rushed wedding collapsed within months. The truth of her betrayal spread, and Jason walked out on her. Daniel, meanwhile, found healing. Slowly. Patiently. And with Maya by his side. 1 year later, he stood under a similar arch, but this time with a woman who had stood by him even when he didn't know it. A woman who never betrayed him. A woman who whispered, "Welcome home, Daniel." And he finally was.